What genuinely concerns me is the fact that millions of individuals are living with an unacknowledged internal struggle, completely unaware of its presence. If you've been experiencing inexplicable fatigue, waking up with stiff joints, battling persistent brain fog, or noticing stubborn belly fat, despite your best efforts, your body is sending you clear signals. This isn't about turmeric, nor is it about expensive supplements promising instant fixes. It's about a single, simple food that researchers at the University of Delaware in central Lancashire have been studying for years, yielding truly astonishing results. I don't promote supplements or push products. My goal is simply to distill peer-reviewed research so you can make informed decisions about your health. Today, I'm going to reveal why this particular food might be the most potent natural anti-inflammatory you've ever encountered and why most doctors overlook it. But first, let me explain what's actually transpiring within your body. Once you grasp this, everything else will fall into place. What many people don't realize is that you can harbor dangerous levels of inflammation and feel perfectly fine, at least for now. Your body is incredibly adept at self-protection. However, when inflammation persists for months or years, your body begins to deteriorate from the inside out. Envision it as a small fire in your home. Initially, it's just smoke, easy to disregard, but eventually that fire spreads, and by the time you see the flames, the damage is already extensive. So let me show you precisely what's happening and, more importantly, how to stop it. Here's the uncomfortable truth that researchers at the National Institutes of Health want you to understand. Chronic inflammation underpins nearly every major disease we dread: heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, arthritis, and even cancer. According to a comprehensive review published in StatPearls by the National Center for Biotechnology Information, chronic inflammatory diseases are now recognized as the leading cause of death globally. The World Health Organization identifies chronic diseases driven by inflammation as the greatest threat to human health. Furthermore, a pivotal study published in Nature Medicine confirms that systemic chronic inflammation leads to diseases that collectively represent the primary causes of disability and mortality worldwide, including cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes mellitus, chronic kidney disease, and neurodegenerative disorders. To put this into perspective, researchers estimate that inflammation is implicated in at least 8 of the top 10 leading causes of death in the United States. This isn't speculation, it's data derived from thousands of peer-reviewed studies. If you're over 40, spend long hours sitting at work, or have been under significant stress recently, this message is particularly relevant to you as your body is more susceptible to inflammation than you might imagine. And here's the unsettling part: most doctors won't test for it unless you specifically request it. They'll check your cholesterol and blood sugar, but they won't assess your inflammatory markers unless something is already gravely wrong. However, there's good news. There's a food that can help reverse this naturally, safely, and more rapidly than most anti-inflammatory medications. It's not turmeric, nor is it ginger. It's something even more potent, supported by research from major universities and published in leading medical journals. But before I unveil it, let me outline the 5 warning signs that indicate your body is currently inflamed. Here are 5 subtle indicators that your body is currently inflamed, with sign number 5 being the one most frequently overlooked until it's too late. Sign number 1, you're perpetually exhausted, even after sleeping. If you're getting 7 or 8 hours of sleep but still waking up drained, that's not normal. Chronic inflammation disrupts your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories within your cells. Imagine them as batteries. When inflammation is high, these batteries cannot charge correctly, leaving you feeling depleted regardless of how much rest you get. This isn't laziness, it's your body's energy system under assault. Sign number 2, joint pain or stiffness in the morning. Do your knees, hips, or fingers feel stiff upon waking? That's inflammation accumulating in your joints overnight. It's your body signaling that something is amiss, and ignoring it will only exacerbate the problem. Sign number 3, brain fog or memory issues. Inflammation doesn't just impact your body, it affects your brain too. Research published in medical journals demonstrates that individuals with elevated inflammation markers perform lower on memory tests and face a higher risk of dementia later in life. If you've been forgetting names, misplacing your keys, or experiencing mental cloudiness, inflammation could be the hidden culprit. Sign number 4, stubborn belly fat that won't disappear. Here's something many people are unaware of. Fat cells produce inflammation, particularly belly fat. So, if you've been eating healthily and exercising but still can't shed that persistent belly fat, your body might be trapped in an inflammatory cycle. Until you break that cycle, the fat will remain. Sign number 5, gum disease or bleeding when you brush. This is the most commonly ignored sign. Yet, research from the American Heart Association reveals a direct link between gum inflammation and heart disease. All right, here it is. The food is tart cherry, specifically Montmorency tart cherries. I understand what you might be thinking. Cherries? Seriously? That's all? Yes, but not just any cherry, tart cherries. And the research supporting them is truly astonishing. Let me break it down for you with actual studies, not just marketing hype. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine conducted a randomized, double-blind crossover study published in the journal Osteoarthritis and Cartilage. They administered tart cherry juice to patients with knee osteoarthritis for 6 weeks. The results showed that WOMAC scores significantly decreased after the cherry juice intervention. Even more impressively, the study found that tart cherry juice lowered high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP, a crucial blood marker doctors use to measure inflammation. The reduction in CRP was directly correlated with an improvement in pain scores. But here's where it gets even more compelling. A study published in Current Developments in Nutrition examined 66 adults with knee osteoarthritis who consumed 16 ounces of tart cherry juice daily for 4 months. The findings indicated that daily consumption led to improvements in mobility, relief of pain-related symptoms, enhanced quality of life, and positive changes in select markers of cartilage health. In a groundbreaking study published in the journal Life in 2025, researchers from the universities of Hertfordshire and Central Lancashire discovered that consuming 130 milliliters of diluted Montmorency tart cherry juice twice a day for 6 weeks reduced gut inflammation markers by 40% in individuals with mild to moderate ulcerative colitis. Participants also reported a 9% improvement in health-related quality of life. Now, compare that to turmeric. Turmeric is beneficial, without a doubt, but studies show it's only effective when taken with black pepper. Even then, your body only absorbs about 5% of it. So, what makes tart cherries so potent? It comes down to compounds called anthocyanins. According to research published in Phytomedicine, tart cherries contain powerful antioxidant compounds, particularly anthocyanins, the same antioxidants found in blueberries and red grapes. However, here's the key distinction. Studies published in the Journal of Natural Products show that tart cherries have significantly higher concentrations of specific anthocyanins, particularly cyanidin-3 glucosyl rutinoside and cyanidin-3 rutinoside, compared to many other fruits. Research from the Natural Medicine Journal confirms that tart cherries yield approximately 90% more of these specific anthocyanins than raspberries. Furthermore, they contain anthocyanins that are not even present in bilberries, blueberries, cranberries, or elderberries. Anthocyanins don't just reduce inflammation, they actively help repair damaged cells and protect your heart, brain, and joints. A study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that athletes who consumed powdered Montmorency tart cherry supplements exhibited significantly reduced markers of muscle catabolism and physiological stress over a 48-hour recovery period compared to those taking a placebo. Here's another fascinating discovery. A clinical trial involving 37 older adults aged 65 to 80 demonstrated that consuming 480 milliliters of tart cherry juice daily for 12 weeks significantly increased DNA repair activity and lowered C-reactive protein levels compared to a control group. And here's what truly sets tart cherries apart from other anti-inflammatory foods. Your body absorbs them immediately, and they begin working within hours. No special preparation is needed, nor do you need to combine them with other ingredients to make them effective. Your body recognizes these compounds and puts them to work right away, targeting inflammation at the cellular level. So if you've been spending money on turmeric supplements and not seeing results, now you understand why. Next, how to properly use tart cherries, because not all forms are created equal. Option 1, tart cherry juice. The most convenient choice is 100% pure tart cherry juice. Look for varieties with no added sugar or preservatives, just pure juice. You can find it at most health food stores or online. Research suggests drinking about 8 ounces, 1 cup daily, preferably in the morning or before bed. Why before bed? Because tart cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, the hormone that aids sleep. A study published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that tart cherry juice consumption significantly increased melatonin levels and improved sleep quality. So, you're not only reducing inflammation, but also enhancing your sleep quality, 2 benefits in one. Just ensure the label specifies 100% tart cherry juice or Montmorency cherry juice. Avoid anything with added sugar or cherry juice blend, as these are often mostly apple juice with a hint of cherry flavor. Option 2, frozen or dried tart cherries. If you prefer whole foods, you can purchase frozen or dried tart cherries. Add them to smoothies, oatmeal, or yogurt. Approximately 1 cup of frozen cherries or 1/4 cup of dried cherries provide similar benefits to the juice. Be cautious with dried cherries, as some brands add sugar. Always read the ingredients. It should only list tart cherries. Option 3, tart cherry extract. If you travel frequently or desire a portable option, tart cherry extract capsules are a good choice. Seek a supplement that contains at least 500 mg of tart cherry extract per serving, with no fillers or artificial ingredients. Now, who is this for? If you're over 40 and experiencing joint pain, this is for you. If you're an athlete or someone who exercises regularly and struggles with muscle soreness, this is for you. Research published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition shows that athletes who consumed tart cherry supplements experienced significantly less muscle soreness and better maintained post-exercise performance compared to placebo groups. If you have a family history of heart disease, diabetes, or Alzheimer's, this is definitely for you. And if you simply want to naturally support your body and prevent inflammation before it becomes a problem, this is for you too. Here's what healthy people over 60 do differently. They don't wait for a diagnosis to start taking care of their bodies. They proactively support their bodies before problems become severe. That's the mindset. That's the strategy. And tart cherries are one of the simplest, most effective tools you can use. But let me be absolutely clear. This is not a cure. I'm not suggesting that drinking cherry juice will make your arthritis vanish overnight. What I am saying is that peer-reviewed research indicates tart cherries can help support your body's natural anti-inflammatory response. And for many people, that makes a genuinely noticeable difference. Now, before you rush out to buy cherry juice, let me tell you what to avoid. Avoid cherry juice cocktails. These are laden with added sugar and artificial flavors. They're essentially sugar water with a little cherry flavor, doing nothing for inflammation and potentially even exacerbating it. Avoid taking it with blood thinners without consulting your doctor. Tart cherries are safe for most individuals, but if you're on blood thinning medication like warfarin, check with your doctor first. All right, let's bring this to a close. If you've made it this far, you now possess knowledge that most people don't. Tart cherries are one of the most powerful, natural, anti-inflammatory foods on the planet, backed by genuine science from institutions like the University of Delaware, University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine, University of Hertfordshire, and Central Lancashire. You understand the 5 warning signs of inflammation. You know how to properly use tart cherries, and you know what to avoid. Now, here's what I want you to do. If this video helped you, or if you believe it could benefit someone you care about, perhaps a parent, a friend, or a partner, please share it. Type yes in the comments if you're going to try tart cherries this week. Let me know. I read every single comment, and I'm eager to hear your results. And if you prioritize your health, or if you care about someone dealing with joint pain, brain fog, or chronic fatigue, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel, because I release videos like this every single week, breaking down the research so you don't have to. Your body is trying to communicate with you. Are you listening? Remember, inflammation doesn't develop overnight, and neither does healing. But every positive choice you make, every glass of tart cherry juice, every anti-inflammatory meal, every good night's sleep is a step toward a healthier, stronger version of yourself. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.